So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one. I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a big theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mrs. Atom, and I am joined this week by the gentleman.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, Mr. Atom is away, as many of you may know if you've been following Twitter. He's been in the Amsterdam, Rotterdam area. So the gentleman is coming on to talk to us about a recent experience that he's had.
Filling in.
Yes. Very good fill-in, I must say. I have no complaints. So a few housekeeping things before we get on with it. If you are around Sydney this Friday, February 2nd, and you're interested, we are doing a Sex Ed in the City class at our secret spot. This is going to be a Swinging 101 and Sexy Swinger Games class. So it's the first time we're doing it on newbie night. Usually the classes are towards the end of the month, but we wanted to give it a try and, see if anybody's interested in learning about swinging and how it works and what to do. Then come on out Friday night. We'll be there.
And sexy swinger games. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. Mm. I don't think we've played any of those. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen a couple played.
Okay. Well, we'll have to have a get together and do this. And then at the end of February, on February 23rd, we have another Sex Ed in the City class. It is going to be the Giving Good Head class. So cock and ball play, hand jobs, blow jobs, everything fun and amazing. It's so much fun. So we're going to do that. And then following the class is going to be the pendulum party.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So anyone who's interested in some bi play, male, female, if you're just curious, you want to watch, you're more of a voyeur, that's completely fine. Come on out and join us. It's going to be a fun evening at our secret spot. Yeah, so much fun. Is it on your calendar?
It is on my calendar,
okay.
Yes.
Making sure it's on there.
Yes.
All right.
It's in code.
Cool. So we'll all be there February 23rd at our secret spot. The class followed by the pendulum party. Come out and join us for any and all of it. I think that's it for the basic announcements at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Excellent.
Are you ready to jump into it?
Yes, let's do this.
All right. So today we're going to talk to the gentleman about a recent trip that let's not say a trip because I think there are actually multiples. Yeah. Escapades.
There were multiples.
There's
a pun in that too.
And hopefully we'll hear why. He went out for a day with Mr. Atom. And apparently I heard that they went to not one, but two saunas.
Yes. So for my first trip to a sauna, Mr. Adam decided that one wouldn't be good enough. We had to go to two.
Was it actually planned, or did that just kind of happen?
No, I think that just kind of happened. I think that the first one that we went to was more situational to where we were.
Okay.
We spent the day. We went shopping because it was in between. Between
Christmas and New Year's.
It was after Christmas and New Year's, so
things are slow. People have time off,
and that was part of that debaucherous week.
Oh, that was his birthday week.
That was his birthday week. It was just before the splashing party, so I needed an outfit for the splashing party and New Year's Eve.
He did say that for his birthday he wanted to go to a sauna with you.
Well, there you go.
So
birthday present achieved.
Done.
Yeah.
Yes. And hopefully you found an outfit in all of your shopping?
There were a few outfits that we found, which was great. Yeah, so we met in Oxford Street. Went shopping down there for some club wear and some underwear. Which we got, as you do, which was a great day. There was a bit of flirting and tension building up there.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So we went and had lunch at the Stonewall in Taylor Square.
Ah.
And we were sitting there, and Mr. Adams said to me, "So, do you want to do some more shopping or ... And I said, sounds good to me." So where we were in Taylor Square, we went to... He wanted to take me to Bodyline, which I don't think he'd been to before.
I don't think so either. I think that was a new one for him.
Yeah.
Because I know that he usually goes to 357 Sussex. So I think Bodyline was new.
Right. Yes, that's right.
So this was like a new experience for both of you.
For both of us. So that was... Yeah, I mean, I knew that's what we were going to do, but I was still quite nervous because I've never been to a sauna before, and I'd heard the stories that Mr. Adam had told, that it said on the podcast. I was glad going in with him for my first time, so he could hold my hand, so to speak, and show me through.
Yeah. It seems like it would be intimidating if you went by yourself for the first time, not with somebody.
Yeah.
It seems like
the experience that I had, I was really glad that he was with me, because there were some parts of it that were scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Okay, so you walk in, you go up there.
Yeah, we walked in, and we pay the money. We get our towel and locker key each. So we walked into the Bodyline first. We walked into there, opened the door, walked into the locker area, and I wasn't sure, like, do I get naked here or and not that that's a big issue for me. I'll get naked anywhere, but it was protocol. Like, what do I do? Where do I stand? So I was just taking Mr. Adams' lead on that. And as we walked in, we walked past another gentleman that was there, and it was, "Oh my God, Mr. Adam, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh my God, does he know this guy?" Like, as soon as it was the first person we'd seen.
Are you sure you haven't been here before?
I'm like, "I've just been set up. What's happening?" And then I had a thought to myself. I was like, "Oh my God, is he just going to know everybody in these places?" I was like, "Damn, that boy gets around."
Oh my God!
So they had a
awesome.
bit of a chat, and I got introduced to him. But he was.
So who was it? Was it?
I think it was a person that he had gone on a date with, but I don't think anything had eventuated from the date.
Okay.
But they knew each other.
So there had been a date with some expectation potential, but nothing ever happened.
Yes.
And then you just run into him at a sauna. That seems awkward.
Yeah, with the new boyfriend. Yeah.
Right.
And it was strange. And I'm standing there waiting while they have a 10-minute chat, going, "Well, do I take these off? What am I doing?
Oh God.
Do I get naked now or later?
Do I get naked? Yeah.
It's like, stuff it. I'm just going to get naked."
That's the answer to everything. If you're ever in doubt,
and that's when I got
just
introduced.
get naked.
Yeah. That was my entry into the first sauna.
Well, that seems like quite an entry there.
Yeah.
A little awkward, but
Yeah.
all worked out. So.
Yeah. So the layout of the place. I mean, once we walked through the locker room, there was a lounge and coffee area, sort of semi-attached. It was about 2 or 3 steps down.
Okay. So you get into your towel and then you go down to that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And we didn't go down there, but it was down there. But so it was. They had a TV playing. It was just a bit more of a social area. So it wasn't really a play area as such. It was just a bit of social down there. But then we walked up the stairs to the. I think it only had one level, and it had the sauna up there. It was really hot and sticky, and it was kind of hard to breathe. And the chlorine smell from the sauna and that.
You know how that's how saunas are, right?
Oh yeah, I know. It was just that was my sensation
just
that I had.
overwhelming.
It was overwhelming. Yeah. And so we walked around the corner, and there was.
So did you not? You didn't spend much time in there at
no,
all?
we basically just walked past it. Yeah, and Mr. Adams said, "Do you want to get in the sauna?" And I was like, "No, it's."
Yeah.
It was actually quite hard to breathe in there. It was only a small space.
Sometimes they get to be like that when it's just so hot and sticky, and it can.
Yeah.
Even I feel a little squeaky sometimes.
Yeah.
Doing that. Yeah.
And it wasn't a large spa, and I don't know. I've got a bit of an issue with getting in a spa. But
Were there people in there?
I think there was 1 or 2 people that were already in there, but I wasn't going to stick around. It was too hard to breathe.
Yeah.
And I wanted to explore what the rest of it was, So we walked around the corner. There was a room through the doorway that had a flat screen TV. They were playing porn on there, and it had kind of stadium seating.
Oh, okay.
That had 3 or 4 sort of levels. There were a couple of guys just sitting in there waiting for a victim to walk past. It kind of felt like, because it was all black. Everything's black and dark. And
dark, yeah.
I remember Mr. Adam on one of the other podcasts was saying it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland walking around, going down the rabbit hole. And it was really like that, because I didn't know where I had been and where I was going. And as you walk around, there was a shower area that it was a 5 or 6 man shower sort of area. And then it sort of went through all these black paneling that was a maze, and it was a maze.
So you kind of lose yourself in all of that.
You get turned around, so there you go. There's another pun in that, but you get turned around so easily. But yeah, you don't know where you are, and you kind of have to. And there are a lot of little nooks and crannies that you could just hide in or stand in. And sometimes you would walk around the corner, and there would be someone there, and you'd sort of walk around the corner and go, "Oh shit!" Like. Oh my God, there's someone there, you scared me, and it was, and I didn't really know what to expect, but so we followed that around, and we saw a few rooms. Some had swings, others had beds, others were just blank spaces. So we walked around there for a little while, just sort of trying to navigate where we were in reference to everything,
just take it all in,
because you do get turned. It's quite hard to figure out where you are.
It seems like your first time it would be a bit overwhelming as well, even knowing what to expect, not just trying to figure out where you are, but what all the spaces are for as well.
Yes, yeah.
That seems like it would be, I don't know, it seems like it would be a bit intimidating.
Yes, yeah. And for me it was a little bit, because while we were sort of doing that initial exploration of the place, you kind of figure out quite quickly that you're being followed by an entourage of people.
Oh, you were being stalked.
We were being
stalked. Of course you were, because you're two gorgeous guys.
And it does feel like you are being stalked. It feels like you're the deer walking through the,
Which is good and bad, I guess, but...
Yeah, well, at the time, I was a little bit creeped out by it, because I think the guys following us, they weren't that attractive to begin with.
No.
And it was
that makes it a little more awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah,
and I wasn't really sure. I'd never been in that situation before. But yeah, it was a creepy feeling, A, not knowing where I was in the place, and B, being stalked while doing it.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but we were then looking for. We decided it was only a small place, and that was kind of all there really was. There was the maze. We found a few rooms. Some of the rooms just had a guy standing in the doorway, and I kind of wasn't sure what that was about. And obviously, going there a few times, you would recognise that, well, that's someone that's inviting you to go in.
Yeah, I was going to say, from listening to what Bradford said before, that sounds like some people just kind of stand there as an invitation, like basically...
Or just lay on the bed inside the door, and when you walk in and you can't see them standing there, you walk in and go, oh, here's a room we can use. Oh no, there's someone in here.
Yeah. I picture it a bit like the women in the windows in Amsterdam, in that this is what's to be offered in this room kind of a thing. That's how I picture it.
Yes, that's kind of exactly what it was like. And it's strange because there's...
But what if you want to use that room not with them?
Yeah.
I guess that's not possible, is it?
It's like, sorry, this room's booked.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what if we both went in there? Yeah. The guy would be rubbing his hands together. Jackpot! So, yes, but after the day we'd had a lot of flirting during the day and trying on underwear together and all that. So we found a room with a swing in the first place.
Cool. Had you been in a swing before? Or was this...
No.
Did you get in the swing?
No, Mr. Adam got in the swing.
Okay.
Yeah, he jumped in the swing.
I'm sure, yeah.
Like,
he loves the swing.
Oh, yeah.
Like a kid in a candy store. Like, ooh, a swing.
Yeah. Which kind of made me think he had been there before and he'd planned everything.
Like, make sure this room is empty.
Yeah. So, yeah, we played in the swing for a little bit. And
what did you think of that?
Yeah, that was fun. That was good.
Is it something you would do again?
The swing?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually was funny because in the second place we went, there was a swing as well, but the first swing I think was better. I don't know how they were different, but it was just, I don't know how it was different, to be honest, but it caused less damage. We'll say that for now.
Okay. We'll leave it at that then.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah, that was the first trip.
Okay.
And then we went for a bit more of a walk around. We found another room with a bed, and we played a little bit in there, which again was very, very fun. And then we decided we wanted to go and have a look at the 357.
Okay.
Which Mr. Adam...
So, before we go to 357,
yeah,
how many people would you say were there? Because this was midday, kind of a holiday week. How busy was it? How many?
Which was surprising because I thought at that...
Because you never know how it's going to be.
Yeah, well, and I suppose I was quite naive to begin with because I knew we were going to a sauna, but I sort of thought that we would spend the day together and have lunch and possibly have dinner and go there, early.
Like in the evening?
In the evening, yeah, where I thought that people would be there. Otherwise, I just assumed that during the day there would be nobody there. Mm-hmm. But at Bodyline, which we went to in Taylor Square, there wasn't that many people there. Maybe, I don't know, I'd say maybe 20 to 30 people.
It sounds pretty good, though. Yeah.
It was it was a small place.
Yeah.
I mean, there were guys everywhere.
I guess everybody's kind of spread out a bit.
Yeah, it was more spread out.
Yeah.
However, when we went to 357, that was not the case. It was packed, which I was just... I don't know why I was astounded by, but it was quite confronting because it was full on. But yeah, after we played the swing in the bed, we took a shower.
Did they have glory holes there at Bodyline? Did you notice any?
I think that they did, but we didn't use them. Okay. There was nobody either in there or we didn't use them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Bradford was more interested in the swing.
Yeah, so. I think so too.
Because glory holes are fun, but he doesn't get the swing that often. So not that kind of swing.
Not that kind of swing.
Yeah.
So then we were sort of we walked out of there and yeah.
So did you do more shopping before you went to 357, or you just went straight there?
Yeah, at that point we were just, let's go check out.
So once you're in the sauna mood, just go from one to the other?
Yeah, just go from one to the other. So we checked it out because it was a bit of a walk. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was a 16-minute walk. I think we looked at the buses and it was either 16 minutes to catch a bus or it was 16 minutes to walk. So we just went and walked down there. It was pretty good.
And for any of you who just heard that, which you probably didn't unless you're really paying attention, the gentleman has like 4 pages of notes here.
We're on the second page.
Pretty amazing. Very, very thorough and awesome.
Yeah, well, it was...
But I understand because you don't want to forget anything.
Yeah, I don't want to forget anything. I mean, I don't forget anything, but yes, I just wanted to write it down because I didn't want to listen back to the podcast and think, oh, I forgot that detail.
Yeah.
So
no, I think it's great.
to make sure the listeners got a full account.
I think it's great. You're very, very thorough. And it's not the only time you're thorough.
Well, thank you. So once we got to 357, and it's the first thing I noticed about it, I had passed this building for years. And...
never knew what it was.
Never knew what it was. Never even had no idea of anything going on behind those doors.
But that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, but now that I know it's there, it does say Sydney Sauna or something.
So every time you walk by now, you'd be like, mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. I walked by it recently, and I just went, okay, I know it's there.
Maybe
now.
I need to take a moment to step inside.
Window shopping, yeah. Although the windows, there are no windows. So at 357, we walked up the stairs. And on the way up the stairs, there must have been 4 or 5 patrons walking down the stairs.
Oh, wow, okay.
I was groped by 2 of them walking up the stairs. I was like, okay.
You didn't even make it in yet.
Yeah. Freebie! So
groped in the front or the back?
Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a nice ass.
And I was like, hey, consent people.
Fair enough.
So we walked up and they had in the... I suppose you could call it a foyer, the little area they had. these huge wooden antique gates or doors, which were kind of
Interesting.
like, yeah, it was kind of BDSM kind of scene, kind of feel to it. And I was like, okay.
Kind of liking this.
Yeah, what am I in for here? This is going well. So we paid the money and got the towels and walked around to the locker area. And the first thing I have to say I noticed about this place, it was obviously a lot larger. It had 4 levels. The locker room was huge, and the number that they gave Mr. Adam and I, he was up one end of the room and I was up the other end of the room.
Oh, wow.
And it took me a few minutes to find just the locker. So it gives you an idea of how many lockers
sounds pretty good
are in the
size.
place. Yeah, it was a huge. And again, the second thing that sort of hit me in the face was so many people were there. It was packed, which amazed me because it was the middle of the day, and I didn't think that there'd be many people at all. But it was packed, and if it wasn't 4 levels, oh my God, they'd be streaming, falling out the door.
Yeah.
It was that sort of opened my eyes to that. But
That sounds kind of cool, though. I know it might be intimidating, but at the same time, I mean, that's kind of, it seems like there'd be a lot of good energy there, and just a lot of things to look at, take in, different people, different ways of doing things. And that was, I have no idea. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, that was another thing. There was a wide range of, you had a lot of 1s and you had a lot of 9s and 10s. You know what I mean? And everything in between. It just so happened that Mr. Adam and I were in the higher range.
You're in the 9 to 10 range, yeah.
Which and actually that was a concern that I had, because I thought, well, like the 2 of us going in, are we going to get molested when we walk in this place? Are we just going to get swarmed upon? And we did, but it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Well, that's good.
And I didn't think it was going to be bad, but just my expectation of that concern wasn't fulfilled, so it was okay. Now, past this point, I get fuzzy on the details as to the levels and the layout here, because, again, using the pun, I got turned around very quickly. There was a lot going on and a lot of things to look at, and I basically just held Mr. Adams' hand and just said, take me where we're going.
So you're like a little puppy dog. You
was
should have been on a leash.
Getting wet. I should have been on a leash, which is the opposite how it works. But but yeah, I felt like I was just being towed around, which was good, and I was just taking in the sights of. And again, there was a level with. I think the first level we got to, from memory, it might be bad, is the shower room and the spa and the sauna, and again, very thick air, very full of chlorine and hard to breathe and concentrate. So we didn't stay there at all and kept going. Because
I know that Mr. Adam doesn't really like that a whole lot either, because it can just be kind of oppressive.
Yes, yeah. And with the amount of people that were in there, it was just crowded, and that made it feel even more so. Yeah. So
there were a lot of people in that room.
There was a lot of people on every level. That's just a given from this point forward. There was a lot of people. So we walked up to the next level, which I'm assuming was the next level, because at this point I was lost. We had a similar kind of maze type system that had, I'm going to say, sealed glory holes. So there was a glory hole with doors.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know there was any other kind of glory hole, to be honest. And later on in the story, I figured out why there's doors.
Okay.
And why
so
there's
when you say glory hole with doors, does that mean that like each one was a cubicle kind of a thing, or did the actual like where you stick your junk in has a little door?
No, where you stick your junk in was just open.
Yeah.
But you could be alone in the booth.
Okay. So it was like a little cubicle kind of thing. It was a cubicle,
yes.
Okay.
So there were 2 cubicles. Well, there's a row of cubicles on either side. Mm-hmm. So if you were to essentially stand in the middle cubicle, you had access to 3 holes that you could put your junk into. So you could stick your junk into the one in front of you or the one on either side of you.
Well, 3 sounds better than 1.
Well, yes. Depending on which side you're in, because otherwise you just got to put your fingers in there. Yeah. Otherwise, there's something wrong and you need to go to the doctors. So we didn't stop there, but we had a look, and I just took note because I did want to go back into there later. And it kind of, to me, it defeats the purpose if I knew who was on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because part of the fun is the anonymity of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted to experience. So we kept walking up to the next level. Similar kind of thing, and they had open glory holes. Same situation, but without doors. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was like, okay, well, there's the glory holes. Okay, there's a glory hole on this level as well.
Yeah.
There were people using those, and I suppose that was the thing you could tell. You could tell that they were occupied, I think. And again, my naive mind just said, okay, well, that's easier because you can tell that there's somebody there using them. Okay, no problems.
Fair enough.
So I took note of where they were, and then I believe we went to the next level, where this level, I mean, at the time we were walking around with a towel around us on the bottom 3 levels, and on the top level was a towel-free zone. So you had to walk around naked.
Okay.
If
so you drop your towel off when you get there.
So you drop the towel off and hang
go
up.
naked, yeah.
Yeah, with all the other towels, and they have sort of numbers on the hooks, which I'm sure nobody gives a stuff about.
No. You just grab a towel when you leave. And,
which I suppose is a bit grotty when you think about it if it's been used. But anyway, that was what it was.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Adams said to me, there's a room that he doesn't like, but he wants to show me.
Okay.
Which was the blackout room. Mm-hmm. Okay, and again, I think that I'm fuzzy on the details.
So this is the one that you walk into, because I've heard him talk about these before, and it's completely dark. Like you cannot see anything.
You cannot see your own hand in front of your face. It is completely dark, completely black, and you honestly just walk into people, or
is that good or bad?
Furniture.
In your mind, I guess, because everyone's going to be a little different.
Well, the first time that I went in there, I went in with Mr. Adam, and he kind of was squeezing my hand because he doesn't like it in there anyway. And we walked in together, and I think, and I'm not sure, but I think that there was a round seating area in the middle of the room. It was a kind of a circular room. Okay. So it was, there was no real corners, I think.
Well, that's good.
There seemed to be a banquette seating around, which I didn't have a go of that, but I think that there was something there because you could kind of feel it on your knees as you walked past.
Okay.
There was furniture there, and then there was a ottoman or something in the middle, a large ottoman in the middle. Mm-hmm. And as we walked around what I perceived to be around halfway through, and then we hit a wall of people, and then all of a sudden there's hands and tongues and things everywhere and tugging at you, and that was a little bit confronting, to be honest. The first time around it was like, oh my God, like and it felt like for a moment where you just weren't in control of what was happening. Right. Which was a little bit scary, but I had Mr. Adams, he was there with me, so it was like, it's okay, I've got, we're together here. But as soon as it got to a point where it was too much, he whispered in my ear, I've got to get out of here. And I was like, oh, okay, well, if you have to. Thank goodness.
I can see where that would be confronting, but I also can see where some people would just really love that. So I guess it depends on your personality and what you're looking for out of it. But I think for me, that would be more confronting than not.
Yeah. And just walking in there, I think it was very deceptive because we kind of walked halfway around, and was like, oh, there's nobody.
Everybody piled up at the end.
It was like there was a traffic jam in the end, but then to get out, it was really. I've been to a lot of mosh pits and things and a lot of concerts. It felt like a mosh pit.
Wow.
Like I almost had to throw elbows to get out of the room. And at that point, when you're at that panicking point, you just get away. I need to get out, and you do have to rush out of the room. So we got out of the room. I wanted to try one of the glory holes. Mm-hmm. So we went and found the glory hole with the door, it was.
Okay. From the first set, right?
From the first set, yeah. I think we went back down and found those. Mr. Adam went the next door, the next cubicle over, or the next one after that. So we had a little bit of fun in there. And then when I was sort of ready to come out, I came out, and then I was sort of frantically looking, where did he go? Where did he go? I hope he's okay. But we found each other. We found each other, and I think we went back. Then we went back up to the top level. We found, or suspiciously, he might have known where a room was with another swing. So we went up to the room. There was he
has been there before. I'm pretty sure that he has like all the swings in Sydney mapped out. Yeah. If anyone has a private or public swing, I'm pretty sure that he knows where it is.
Yeah. But a lot of the rooms were occupied. Now, not being used as such, if you get my drift, but like we said before, there were people standing in the doorway or laying on the bed or sort of just waiting. Mm-hmm. And that a lot of that was happening. And mind you, all the while, still being followed by 3 or 4 other patrons.
Wow. So you're still being stalked?
Still being stalked, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, which...
I mean, that's got to make you feel good, though. I mean, it's got to feel a little creepy, but kind of make you feel like, yeah, okay, I'm worthy of stalking, so, yeah.
What, just 3 of you? Yeah.
Where's the other 20?
So we found the room with the swing. Now, this was the one where I received damage. I actually had bruises on my legs.
Like on your thighs?
On my thighs.
Okay.
Because the swing was a lot of fun.
Was it because of the veracity with which you were playing, or was it the height, or what do you think might have been, or the material even? What do you think was different?
Do you know what? It was a little from column A, a little from column B, because I think that it was a hard leather seat with the string, with the straps for the feet. And maybe we could have scooched down a little bit, that might have prevented it, but it was, I don't know, and we did sort of get a little bit...
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point it was like, we're doing this. But yeah, they were bruises to be proud of, I think.
Absolutely. Best kind of bruise
But
ever.
at the same time, on the door, it was kind of like the dungeon door that had a little peek hole with the little 4-way metal see-through bit on it. But the swing was around the corner. So if you were on the swing doing your business, you couldn't see from the door. But the person standing doing the thrusting, you could kind of see the back end view.
You could see the ass end. Yeah.
You could see the ass end,
Well, that's a nice end if you were doing the thrusting.
Well, I think you.
Well, either of you, but especially, yeah.
I think that there was a line-up at the door peeking through, because every now and then you'd sort of... And it was odd because, we were making noises of our own, but you could hear the scratching at the door, which is a little bit off-putting. But it's like, they're going to come in. There was a lock on the inside of the door, which I can understand
was
why.
it like zombie scratching, kind of? Like the horde's going to burst through?
They weren't looking for brains.
They were going for the other head.
The other head, yeah. And so after we sort of did that, I said to Mr. Adam, look, I want to experience the black room again on my own.
Oh, daring.
Because it scared me, and I wanted to just try that again without the comforter there, So he said he's okay. He'll find something to do, and I'll go in there. And let me tell you, it was scary as shit the second time around.
Yourself?
By myself. Yeah. It was scary because it was really rough. Like I said, it was like a porno mosh pit. And this time I didn't make it halfway.
What a way to describe it, a porno mosh pit.
I didn't make it halfway around. I stepped into the blackness and then just got pulled in, literally. pulled in. It wasn't by my hands. Pulled in. And it wasn't violent. It was rough. There was a lot of tugging from everywhere.
Yeah.
And someone had a lot of experience because I had a condom whipped on me by somebody else.
Wow.
Like
in the dark. In 2 seconds or whatever.
And I sort of had to swipe them away because I was like, oh no, I didn't want that.
Somebody was ready and waiting.
Somebody was ready and waiting to get pounced on. And
so then the question is, do they
pouncing.
have like a pile of like 20 condoms just for everyone that comes by? They're just like whipping it on just to see?
Well, okay, so that was another one I was going to bring up later. I mean, there are condoms and lube all over the place.
Yeah.
But in that room, you can't see anything anyway. But yes, on the wall on the way through, there was condoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I had a bit of a bone to pick with that. Mm-hmm. There's another pun in that.
All right. So they threw a condom on you.
Threw a condom on me and wanted to play there and then, which I wasn't comfortable with at the time. And then I, again, needed to get out in a hurry. And like I said, I wasn't even halfway through. I tried to turn around and come the way I came and sort of lost where I was and had to physically move people out of the way to get out. And it was a panicking sort of moment. But it was that... I don't know. It was exciting and scary and.
So with I'm just thinking about this person with the condoms and like throwing them on everyone. Like if you whip it off, like where does it go? Are there bins all over the place or like what happens?
Yeah, well, I've got sort of pros and cons written down here, and that was one of the things that.
Am I getting sidetracked too soon? Sorry.
No, that's fine. Because yes, that was one of the things that it was. Yeah, that happened. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, that's okay. No, that's all right. And they didn't persist. So I sort of swiped their hand away. They didn't persist. But then one of the things that did make me sort of lose it a little bit, I did step on a condom. I don't know if it was.
Was it your own?
I don't know if the one that just came off or if it was, I don't know. And it was pretty grotty. And that's when I started to feel like this is dirty.
Yeah.
And then that added to the,
got to get out of here.
I got to get out of here. Yeah.
That room is not for you.
That room was, And it was just funny because I didn't notice anything on the floor beforehand. But then when you step on a condom in between your toes, I'm out of here. And
right.
it wasn't, at that point it wasn't pleasant. I got to get out. Mm-hmm. And that was another thing that I had, which I don't know if it's the location of it or what, but the dispensers for the condoms in the place, it was like the wrappers fit in this perfectly molded piece of acrylic. Okay. That they were individual in a big pile. Yeah. So to get them out, you could get one out at a time, or you could kind of dig at the top. I still get one out at a time. So there was no real selection of
size or anything like that. Yeah, that could be a problem.
Well, yeah, when we were in the swing room, the ones they had in there, I couldn't get them on. Yeah. And there was no... I mean, luckily we brought our own. Yeah. But to me, it didn't really promote...
I was going to say, and it's not even like if you just keep pulling and digging, like pull from the bottom and put back at the top. It's not like eventually you're going to get to different sizes. Yeah. I'm guessing they're all the same size.
I don't know. I don't know. But the ones that I did pull out were all the same wrapper. So you assume that they were the same.
That's a fair point because, you do have to... I mean... There's all different sizes of people out there, and
the only other thing that I had to compare it to was OSS. When I was there for the pendulum parties, they have them in a bowl, and there's a selection.
And there's a whole variety.
There's a whole variety, which I now appreciate that because not everybody's the same, and it's a comfort level thing as well. So if you want to enjoy yourself, and then all of a sudden you're either worried about one falling off or
you can't get one on,
you can't get it on, or you put it on and it's painful and it's I do appreciate how OSS now do it because it's a much better way of doing it. At least you get a little bit of selection of your own comfort.
Right.
So they were the two things. It was dirty in the black room, which
fair enough, Yeah.
People are animals, I suppose, in that situation, and
I think we've all learned that one.
Yeah. So, and then I think after that, I then went to look for Mr. Adam and walked by the...
So, Just as a timeout, how did he occupy himself while you were in there? Do you have any idea?
I'm not sure. I don't think I was in there that long.
Okay. So he was just kind of waiting around?
No, I don't know what he did to fill in the time.
We'll have to ask him next time I see him.
Yeah. Yeah, so on the hunt for Mr. Adam, on the way back down, I thought, well, I'll give the glory hole another try. So...
The closed glory hole or the open?
Well, I just went to the first one that came along, and it was the open. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think that there was any difference, so I just went and occupied one of the open ones. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how you do it. I was on the receiving end, so I was standing up.
Yeah.
And they're kind of offset. So I think that on the other side, they're standing up as well, but then they're at your crotch height.
But they're a little bit lower, yeah. So that way it's more comfortable for everyone.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Whereas at body line, they were all the same level. So somebody was kneeling.
Okay.
On the floor. There were no pads on the floor. I did notice.
That's a little less than ideal.
Yeah, but I suppose they'd get filthy too.
That's true. Fair enough. It's
so
one more thing to clean.
I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah.
Having only seen it once. But then I kind of realised why the doors existed. Because as I was using the glory hole, from behind, I started to get hands and
you were being groped and
fingers and by anonymous people who were right behind me. And it wasn't just one guy, it was 3 or 4 guys, I think, because there was a lot of hands in a lot of places.
Well, it's a party in there.
It was a party in there, yeah. And I was like, did I just pick the wrong place? Or it might have been the 3 guys that have been following me around all night. Oh, we finally got a shot, let's do this.
It probably was.
So now I understand why there's a door.
Right.
Which makes for a completely different experience as well. Because if
you're looking for that kind of touching and groping and whatnot, then for sure the open area.
Then for sure,
but if you want the
intimacy
of just, and you want to focus on the blowjob, then
and it's and again it's a point of discretion as well. So it almost to me it kind of felt a little bit naughtier to be, and it sounds opposite, but kind of feels a little bit naughtier to be in the closed door on your own. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm not supposed to be. No one knows about it. It's that more secretive, because it's very anonymous, obviously. And it is very anonymous because you're completely on your own.
Yeah.
Whilst getting pleasured. But, but then the other way, still, I mean, you can't see anybody from the back. It was just that, oh, shit, it was the surprise
then that
caught me off guard.
Yeah, then you get all the different sensations and...
Yeah, which in the end helped a little bit. But, yeah. So then I thought, well, okay, done there. That's right, I was supposed to meet Mr. Adam somewhere, so I went down to have a look and see.
I came here with somebody. Right.
I hope he's okay. So I thought, my God, we didn't really plan this very well. We should have made a rendezvous point, If you get lost, stand by the big clown that says you can't ride unless you're over this height.
Height or length?
Oh, yeah. That's what the cue was. Yeah. Right. Oh, Mum, why can't I ride? Well, you're older. So I went down to the first level, I think it was, where the showers were, and I thought I'll grab a shower, and I sort of thought, well, that was where you come out to go back into the locker room. So if he's going to come down, I'll catch him.
Okay, fair enough.
So I was in there for a while and got propositioned in the shower a couple of times. So I kind of had to get out of there.
Well, it's going to make you feel good, right?
Oh, yeah, it did. But, yeah,
it's just not what you want.
It wasn't what it wasn't what I was looking for at the time. Anyway.
Like, you're not Mr. Adam.
I'm sure people would. But, and so I went into the locker room and I thought, well, I'll get changed and I'll wait for him in the locker room. And as I went down, I thought, well, I'm going to be waiting for this guy for ages.
I mean, he might meet some people he knows here too. I mean, why not?
There's probably a whole level dedicated to Mr. Adam fans.
Yeah. He knew people at the last one. Why would he not know people here?
Yeah. So I walked into the locker room.
Any previous partners at this one?
Not that I know of. Maybe that's where he was. So I walked in the locker room and there he was waiting for me. And it's like, well, it's about time you finished. I was like, oh, really? Yeah. I'm the naughty one. Okay. So it was the whole experience was a bit mixed.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy some parts. Some parts were overwhelming, I
Yeah.
suppose is the word for it. You want to say creepy, but it kind of, I think that's meant to be the point. Not to be creepy, but to be out of that comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and especially for your first time and not really knowing what to expect, you're definitely going to get out of your comfort zone. And it's just speculating because, I'm not allowed there. But it seems like there would be some things that you have an idea as to what happens, but then reality is different than that. And the first time, I'm imagining you're kind of like, ooh, I don't know about that. But then you think on it and you go back maybe a time or two again, and then you're like, okay, well, no, that's actually pretty good now. And it's just kind of getting acclimated and knowing what to expect is what I imagine.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And listening to the podcast and Mr. Adam talking about it on previous occasions, you have quite a clear idea of what it is, but actually being in that 3D situation of feeling lost and feeling like you're stuck in the rabbit hole and people following you around, it is very different.
So did you get panicky other than the dark room, the black room? Did you get panicky at any point?
In Bodyline, the first time we sort of got turned around in the maze, I was a little bit, not knowing where to get out. I mean, and all doors led out. I don't think there was any sort of space that was completely, that I felt like totally
a dead end
unsafe.
Or anything.
Yeah, there was no dead end where you couldn't walk out and get it, if you had to.
Yeah.
But, and I was really appreciative of the fact that I was there with Mr. Adam because it's the first time it was good. Now, I get
so basically, if you're going for the first time, go with somebody who's been before, if you can.
If you can, yeah.
If you have that luxury.
Yeah, and that was one thing that I kind of, the feeling I was getting was it was very carnal or very primal. It was just, there was, you go there, you went there for exactly what you got.
Yeah.
There's no real,
it's a purpose-driven business.
There's no feelings, there's no communication. It's just unadulterated sexual pleasure, and that's all it is. That's what I felt the whole time. It was very, I don't know, selfish, but it was very just primal.
Yeah.
I just want to go.
Primal's a good word
this is
for
exactly
it.
what I want to do, and that's what I went there, and that's what I got.
Yeah.
It was shopping like a man.
So you mentioned the lack of communication, and I was going to ask about that because from what he always says, from what Mr. Adams says, is that there's a lot of nonverbal communication. There's not really verbal. It's more like if you look at somebody or look them in the eye, then you're showing interest kind of thing.
Yes.
Is it? Did you find that to be the same?
Well,
like what kind of communication
that's exactly what it was. It was the looks. Mm-hmm. And because I have no idea what the looks are, I just tried to avoid eye contact. Yeah.
Like, don't look at me.
Yeah. Or if I look at that guy for too long, am I sending am I sending a message that I didn't want to send, or just because I had no, I don't know what they are.
Right.
It's that naivety of it going in the way I did, or with the lack of experience.
I feel like you need a sign to hang around your neck that says newbie.
Yeah. Go easy. I'm not sure. But would I go back with Mr. Adam? Definitely.
Would you go back on your own at this point?
You see, on my own, it's
not
it's
yet.
hard. Look, I've been re-listening to some podcast episodes, and there was an episode where I think it was actually our conversation that we had last time, and Mr. Adam, we joked and spoke about trying things twice. Mm-hmm. So, I do agree with that. So I would like to probably go again, maybe on my own, to see if I get a different feeling or like it better or not. Like I said, if I went back with company, yes, but on my own, I'm doubtful. But I think I will try and see if I like it.
It feels like it'd be a little safer, even the second time with somebody again, because even though you do it once and you have your first introduction, it sounds like a bit overwhelming. but informative. And then you go back again knowing a little better what to expect. And then, I don't know, for me, I think I would work up to like the third time being on my own.
Yeah, well, and in saying that too, to go back on my own, I don't think that I would go to the totally crowded one. Mm-hmm. I'd probably go to the quieter one. I don't know why, but it was very
just kind of
overwhelming.
ease into it again.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, next time you go back with Mr. Adam or whatever, what would you do differently? Like, what would you expect to be different about it?
I suppose just getting rid of the apprehension. I wouldn't be carrying that around. Mm-hmm. And it's a bit more of an idea of where I am, because I like to know where I am and where I'm going.
Yeah.
And you get rid of that unknown side of things. And I have a bit more. I would then definitely have a little bit more confidence in just walking around and just navigating the place, because navigating it was. It's probably something that they obviously mean to do and do very well. You do get lost.
Yeah.
And it is, and you are getting lost in every sense. You get lost physically and to your own primal urges. You get lost in that as well. So they do it very well. But at least I would know where I was going and what to expect.
Right.
So I would be going in with a bit more knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was there anyone...
Or confidence, I suppose, is another way to put that.
Yeah. That seems like a good word.
Yeah.
So was there anyone at either location other than Mr. Adam that piqued your interest that maybe you weren't ready to do anything with, but at some point you might be like, if they were there again?
No.
No?
No, not that.
Okay.
Not that time.
Okay.
But I loved the glory holes.
Glory holes are so much fun.
That was really good.
And that's why we put the one up at the pendulum party, which last time it didn't get as much use. So we're gonna have to have a big announcement. We're just gonna have to force people to go use it because it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love being behind it, and I love watching people there. Like there's just so much fun there. And I think for me, what was so much fun at the pendulum parties was as well, because there's only one. I guess it's more like probably the open area at 357. I'm going to guess anyway, but because there's only one, and there were multiples of us behind it, you never really knew who you were getting, and I like having that. Yeah,
but on the other end, people can see that it's being used.
Yeah.
And go, oh great, that's open, and yeah.
Mm. So, what was your favorite part of all of this?
Even though it was
your favorite moment.
Even though I did enjoy the glory holes, as I said, but even though it was scary, the dark room, I did like that, because it was that apprehension of what am I doing in here, and what's going on, and that was the most that I felt, like I said, that primal feeling of, I'm here for the sexual gratification, and that is it. And that is exactly it, because there was no communication, no sight, no sound. It was just...
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. And it did scare me.
Yeah.
So it was everything sort of combined. And then even when you get panicked and have to get out, it was just exciting getting out, and the heart's pounding, and it's like, oh God, I made it out, thank God. It was good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I did want to go into it on my own, because it scared me the first time with Mr. Adam, and I just thought, you know what, that was a good kind of scary.
Yeah.
I want to try that again.
That's good though. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I had fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Comments? Anything?
No. Okay. But I think go and try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a go and see how it goes.
Yeah, give it a go and see how it goes, because it's another one of those things. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And do it. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do, it's an experience that you've had, and it was fun. And
it's also one of those things, I mean, like anything in life, but if you do enjoy it, it doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. You can go, say, once a month, once a year, whatever. Just If you feel the urge, if you have the desire, you want something different, you can go if you enjoy it. And if you don't, it doesn't fundamentally change who you are. You know, that's one thing that Mr. Adam always says, is that, like, try it. If you don't like it, if it's not for you, it doesn't change who you are. So you're still the same person afterwards.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are in control when you're there. It's not like I went there and I got molested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you take that fear out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's an unwarranted fear, you know. And I admit I was probably apprehensive about it a little bit. Like, am I going to get pounced on? And I didn't know that, you know. Of course you're not, because you know, if you say no, you say no, and you are in control. Even though at times like I said, the black room was scary, but as soon as I wanted it to be over, it was over.
Right. And even like when you took the condom off, you know, whoever took that as a no, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Which I'm still amazed by. I don't know how the hell.
That's a skill.
That is a skill.
That is a skill.
Yeah. That means he's well versed.
I would say I need to practice that one, but I don't really see when I would use it. So.
And it went on quick. Like, it was, you know, it was ready to go before I knew what was going on.
So it's like saran wrap. Like, it just was there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a machine in there that was doing it, that I just walked past accidentally. Woof.
Uh-huh.
It was quite amazing.
It's a machine that recognizes cocks and like covers them in cling wrap.
I'm surprised he found one that fit. No. That was a man that came prepared.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so you ready for the question of the week?
Yes.
All right.
What have we got?
So this is actually sort of a repeat question. Mr. Adam and I have already answered it. Admittedly, I don't even remember what my answer was. So I'm going to answer it again, because it may be the same or it may be different. Hell, I don't know.
Okay. And the avid listeners can go back and replay all the old episodes.
Sure, somebody can probably
and
tell
find
me.
them and let you know.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody could tell me, but it's interesting because we do always try to find different questions of the week. Although I think this one is appropriate, and especially for you being here. But at the same time, that's not to say that our answers may not change over time. Because we all, you know, we're not the same. Yeah,
progress,
we do all evolve. And so, anyway. All right, so the question is, would you be open to dating a same-sex partner? Not necessarily casual, but like dating a same-sex partner.
Okay.
So would you look for or accept a male as a primary solo partner?
At this point, no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel I'm there with my bisexuality at the current moment. I was looking at,
and you may never be. I mean,
that's fine. You know, I was looking at the Kinsey scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, going by that, it's funny because, I enjoy playing with men and everything that comes along with that. Mm-hmm. And again, there's a pun in that.
That comes along with that. Uh-huh.
But, you know, my attraction to same sex is more like Kinsey too. So,
It's a little more incidental.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a little bit more incidental. Although during play, it's more like a Kinsey 3. So and at the moment it's kind of half. Like, so
once the ball gets rolling, then you're in and ready for it.
Yes.
But,
yeah. But in saying that, when I walk down the street, mm-hmm. I don't notice men.
Uh-huh.
I notice women. And I think for a solo partner, I don't want a solo partner, but for a primary partner, I am looking for a female, mm-hmm. a bisexual female who is mm-hmm. supportive in this lifestyle,
right.
and in supporting of me playing bisexually, and mm-hmm. you know, that would be what I would be looking for. Mm-hmm. If I was looking for a primary partner.
I think that's a good distinction to make, because it is interesting the way the question is worded. Is it does sound like, well, I guess it actually even did say solo partner, But I feel very much like you in that I don't think I could ever go back to a solo partner again. Like a primary partner, yes, that's one thing. But
the distinction lies there, doesn't it?
It's between solo and primary.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I could ever go back to just one. Like I feel like the primary partner, yes, that's good, but I still need a little something else.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say the primary partner, the sex wouldn't matter. Because, I mean, there are some females that I have had some amazing times with and really, really enjoy. I can see that long-term kind of thing. But is that all I want? No. And the same thing with guys. Like, I feel like I need both. Mm-hmm. But which one is primary? I don't think it would matter because I lie pretty well in the middle. I'm kind of on the Kinsey scale a 3, 4 sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, and it fluctuates, sometimes week to week or whatever. It changes a bit whether you're a little more one way or the other. For me, it does.
So to clarify, if you were on the bus walking down the street, going to the theatre, would you? Is there a not preference, but do you notice guys or girls first, or does it constantly change?
At the moment, it's more girls.
I'm really phase in and out,
yeah,
or it's constant, doesn't matter?
No, I phase in and out. I would say at the moment I'm in a very female-focused phase.
Yeah.
I definitely notice females more than males, and I'll even catch myself. Like earlier today on the bus, I was looking at, there was a couple that came on the bus. Both were attractive, and she really caught my eye, and then I was like, oh, wait, but he's attractive too. Like, I should be looking at him. But it does kind of depend, because there are times where it'll kind of shift back towards maybe I'm, looking at guys a bit more, or they're grabbing my attention more. And all of that is also very person dependent as well, because there's always those people that stand out above the crowd that are going to get your attention no matter what. But at the moment I am much more female focused. And I've even noticed that at our secret spot at the club is that whenever couples come in, immediately I'm always checking her out more than him. And I don't know, it's just where I am at the moment. And I know that Bradford says the same thing, is that, he kind of flows back and forth a bit. And I don't know what changes that. I have no idea. But it does.
Yeah.
It's just fluid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because on my side of things, I mean, I suppose, not that I don't notice guys, but it is rarer for that to happen. And I probably do have a type of man that I would be more interested or more inclined to be interested in. Maybe more picky about that. I don't know.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, because there's I'm not, even though, like I say, I like to play, I like playing with men. I mean,
but it takes a certain kind to grab your attention, though.
Yeah, it would. And I'm not going to play with any man either.
Right.
But it's the same way. I'm not going to play with any female either.
Right.
So it's not a total free for all, but it's there needs to be something that's attractive to it.
Did you guys hear that? The gentleman is not easy. He's apparently quite picky. So if you want his affections, I don't really know what that means.
Standards aren't high, but there are standards there. No, but there needs to be an attraction there, and again, that's probably why, life has led me where I am now. It's, you go through those phases, and to begin with, it was just physical.
Yeah.
And now it's more, I want that connection. I want something more than just physical. And to the point where I think, again, you've said it on the podcast before, the intellect of somebody, their personality, who they are, can outweigh any flaw that they may have.
Absolutely, yeah.
In their physical appearance.
Because no one's perfect.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's sort of where I'm sitting at the moment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which has come a long way, really, from my own sort of sexual growth has come a long way in the last 2 or 3 years, or 3 years now.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Ask me again in 3 years' time. Same thing.
Who
It
knows
might
where
be
you'll
completely
be,
different. Yeah. I'd be interested to find out what your answer was.
Yeah, I'll have to go
when
back
asked
and
beforehand.
I'll have to go back and look it up because I honestly have no clue what it
And
was.
it is
Because it could be
interesting
the
as
same
well
or it
that-
could be different. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Well, and I know that Mr. Adam at the moment is going through his boy phase
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. He's very male heavy at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you're both...
Okay. Which let's talk about. Well, no, we'll wait and talk about that on a future podcast with Mr. Adam. Never mind.
Okay.
I was going to talk about an experience at our secret spot recently.
Oh, okay.
But we'll have a review of Mr. Adam's week away from both perspectives. So we'll discuss it then.
Excellent.
So stay tuned for next week, guys.
Always.
Yes.
That's the worst part about Tuesdays.
Uh-huh.
So where's my podcast?
You have to wait one more day.
One more day. It's painful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can help you out with that. All right. Well, let's wrap this up then. Any final thoughts? Anything last to say? Or are you good?
Welcome home, Mr. Adam.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. We may have to have a naked FaceTime here.
Naked
Yeah.
FaceTime?
Uh-huh.
All right.
That's kind of FaceTime. I mean, it's not exactly FaceTime, but it's,
Well,
naked
there's
time.
a face involved. And
Right, sure. All right, so you can find us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at By the By Podcast, and you can email us at The Atoms of Love. I don't know if our website is back up yet. It may not be, but, when it is, it's www.bytheby.com.au. So feel free to reach out to us and send us any feedback, questions, anything that you want to say. We're here to listen. So thank you for tuning in again.
Bye.
And thank you, the gentleman.
You're very welcome.
Bye, guys.